today. I am so happy to see Angelena presenting, because you know what? I went back and I saw that it was December the last time she spoke to us, and I thought, wow, that's too long, because I remember how wonderful it was. Now let me tell you a little bit about Angelena. Angelena knows our connection to God is our ultimate source for healing in our lives. Because of the supernatural relationship, regardless of choices, circumstances, or appearances, healing and miracles are always in our mind. Angelena says, join her in helping you to become even more aware of your access to these blessings. Let's listen as Angelena presents today something really important for each of us. Come on, Angelena. Join us. Let's welcome.
Everybody. Okay.
Hello.
I'm going to take my mask off.
Go ahead.
This talk is called In These Uncertain Times, Letting Go of Fear as a Healing Process. I've been thinking about this topic for a very long time because we are so inundated with the fear of what we're going through for over a year. And it's interesting to see in the news how, they say in these uncertain times, and it's coming up in commercials and shows and, all the TV shows that we're watching, they have the theme of what we're going through. And it's constantly reminding us. And I just want to give this talk because I want to remind us that we can, if only a little bit, we can let go of this fear and learn how to heal in the process. And so I'm going to, what about if we just don't watch the news or TV? We could just watch, maybe if we need to know the news, we could watch it once a week, every 2 weeks, once a month. We're not really going to miss anything. The news is basically the same every day, I feel, but we won't miss too much. I think we should focus more on love and any way we can think of to heal, while we're going through this. Fear is of course, it's an ego emotion, and we actually chose to experience this in our human condition. We chose to experience this while we're here, but it doesn't mean that we have to embrace it so much. On the scale of emotions, it's very low in vibration, and of course, unconditional love is the highest vibration. And we just need to learn how to maneuver it on a daily basis. Maneuver through it and move, experience it if we have it, and then maneuver through it in our way. And, we have different ways. I'm going to do a little bit of ideas of how we could do that on our, in our daily lives. And so fear is not just about Corona. There's so many different types of fears. There's so many based on just all of our experiences and our individualities. We can name so many fears in our lives. I'm just going to name a few. Let me just give you a story first. In the 90s, way back when, I was in ROTC in St. John's, and we went on a rappelling trip, and all we had to do is, come to the edge of the cliff and rappel down, come at an L shape and just rappel down. Well, I stood at the edge of that cliff for so long, And I just watched everybody else go up and down, up and down. And I was just shaking in my boots. And Captain Littlejohn, he's the leader of the group, he stayed with me for the whole time. It had to be an hour that I was just stuck. I was frozen at the edge of that cliff. And so he coached me, he inspired me. I tears streaming down my eyes. I can't do it. But he stood with me with like this utmost compassion. Like he was so passionate about being able to see me transcend that fear and come down that cliff. And I eventually, like one semi-inch at a time, like got myself to finally get down that cliff. And by the time I got to the bottom, I was like, I thought to myself, what was it? Why did it take me so long? And then by the next 30 minutes, I was going up and down, up and down. So I'm just, in my mind, I was like, why was I so afraid? Like, what was it inside of me that just kept me stuck? And, I think it's just, in our daily lives, it takes, each other and, to go through our daily lives, and it takes that type of compassion that Captain Littlejohn had to interact with each other and, people outside of Carmel Temple and in our families. So I just wanted to offer that story, that it is possible to actually get over like an intense fear. And so what are we afraid of? I mean, we can say I'm afraid of the coronavirus, but there's underlying fears that we experience on a daily basis. We're afraid of the future. We're afraid of the unexpected. We're afraid of maybe we're afraid of situations. We're afraid of things like spiders. We're afraid of conflict. We're afraid of, I could just go through this whole list, but I don't want to focus in on so many fears, but just to say that these are just things that we need to transcend in some way, not being in control, being alone, but there's got to be a way we could look at these fears, and there's got to be a way we could it's kind of a hard thing to talk about, but there's got to be a way we can transcend it and at the same time still honor our humanity and honor who we are as humans, and then honor the actual part of us that can actually transcend it. I just want to give a little quick exercise that if in our daily lives we feel inundated or we feel some kind of fear creeping up inside us, I think we could do a little quick, just a quick exercise I wanted to show you. If you guys could stand up, if you don't mind. I want you to imagine a four-sided triangle above your head. And the apex of the triangle is right here at the center of your crown. And what we're going to do is just reach up with your hands above your head. Oops, don't touch the ceiling fan, Nina. And just imagine the base of the triangle expanding as you open your hands up wide, slowly just going outwards with your hands, and imagining the base of the triangle expanding and allowing the peace of God to just come down through that base of the triangle down to the point of the triangle through your crown. And inhale the peace of God coming down through your crown as you expand your hands and expand the triangle and expand the presence of God within you. And then take your hands and bring that energy down go to the earth, the center of the earth, so that that fear or uneasiness gets transmuted, and then all that's left is the peace of God within you. It's a very powerful energy. Okay, so that's a simple exercise that we could do. Oh, that felt good. And so, fear, I'm going to talk about fear again. Fear, because of our human nature, it can seem like it's a natural thing to react to the way we respond to fear. It seems natural because it's human nature to respond. So, and we also are triggered by fear. For example, let's just say that somebody threw a ball, like a ball is coming at your way, and you either react by going like this, you either react by catching the ball, or you react by deflecting the ball in defense of yourself, or you react by, did I say catching already? you can catch the ball, or just deflect it out of your way, or like everybody responds to the unexpected differently. You know, eventually, all healing is the release from fear. So the use of the word "is" just says, it really emphasizes the fact that we can be released from fear. And I mean, we generally see healing as healing a wound, like when the wound closes, we're healed. At the physical level, we generally see the miracle as it's gone at a physical level. But here, they're talking about healing as just being a release from fear. And that's being released from an emotional aspect of us, or from what we're holding in our minds as whatever it is that's being fearful. We're trying to release that, and once we do that, that is where the healing begins. So it really is an inside job. It really, really is. So really it is trying to transcend that fear of the body, like fearing what could happen to our physical bodies, fearing the attack on our physical bodies, fearing, there's so many words, fearing safety, fearing illness, fearing attack, fearing pain at the physical level. Okay. Another perspective we can look at it as is the word forgiveness. We can actually forgive the fear away. And it just means giving it away, giving up the fear. I like that perspective of it, that we can just give it up and lean on love instead, embrace love. Lesson 294, it says, my body is a wholly neutral thing. That's also very powerful. When we think of that line, we can learn to release all that fear that we have that, something might happen to our physical bodies. It can sound kind of scary because it is number 294 out of 365 of the lesson, because in the A Course in Miracles, you kind of gradually get to the understanding of letting go of the body. But in this lesson, I just want to focus on just a couple of words that they use in that lesson. without going through the whole thing. I am a son of God, and yet a neutral thing does not see death. For thoughts of fear are not invested there. So, my body is neutral, and I am a son of God, which the Son of God is of spiritual essence. So we're focusing in on that spiritual part of us and not the physical body. Neutral means that the body is not good or bad. The body cannot be sick. The body cannot be hurt. I mean, there's no good or bad. There's no ill or health. Just purely neutral. And so the neutral thing does not see fear. There's another part in A Course in Miracles that says that the body doesn't think either. The body does not think. And so that means that we can perceive the body as not having that effect on us because we're thinking from a spiritual perspective. And the body passes away. And thoughts of fear are not invested there. The thoughts of fear are dwelling in our minds. The body does not have the capacity to think and hold on to fear. It is our minds that have that capacity to do that. Another thing that came to my mind in preparing this class is the statement, there is nothing to fear but fear itself. And I read back that it was written by Henry David Thoreau in the 18th century. And so there is nothing to fear but fear itself. And then in A Course in Miracles, there's a lesson, lesson 48 says there is nothing to fear. And so I found that interesting that in the Course in Miracles, it leaves out the fear itself. It just says there is nothing to fear. And so that's a pretty profound and simple statement that there is nothing to fear. And that includes all things. That includes spiders repelling, it includes corona, it includes bacteria, it includes cancer, it includes the common cold. It's such an absolute statement. There is nothing to fear, and there's nothing, there are no exceptions in that statement. And then I just want to end on lesson 97. I feel like A Course in Miracles really teaches us how to have a perspective that leads us away from fear and towards love. And I just found in lesson 97 that I actually use this prayer every morning when I wake up. It says, Spirit am I. Actually, in the beginning of the lesson, it says, I am Spirit. But in the actual prayer, it says, Spirit am I. So it's just bringing us closer to that attention to Spirit. Spirit am I, a holy Son of God. Again, it repeats. A holy Son of God, free of all limitations, safe and healed and whole, free to forgive and free to save the world. And I feel like if we really embrace that statement, we're really sending out healing love to everyone, to the whole world. It's this passage is filled with compassion, and that's what I feel we need to embrace and focus on outside of Carmel Temple and in all of our interactions going forward. And that is all.